let's jump to the explanations for the idioms in this lesson. First one, of course, is to do with a picture called 掩耳盗铃。掩耳盗铃。
掩耳盗铃。
这个掩，是第三声掩。掩 is to cover, I suppose. Yeah. 掩耳 is to cover ears. 盗铃 to steal the bell. 铃 the bell. 掩耳盗铃 cover the ears to steal the bell. And so that picture of harming the bell is not really reflected in this phrase. By the way, there are a number of different versions of cartoons on YouTube for many of the idioms we're doing, including this one. I had a look. One is better than the other. I think one is better than others. But you can go, if you get a chance, if you got a time, to go through some of them, probably search yourself and see which one you like better. Clearly, all these cartoons are interpretations, right? And the stories, including story used in this textbook, they are not historical facts. Nobody knows whether it's what shape the bell is, right? But anyway, so it's about like cartoon or the stylized version of the stories. Effectively gives you an explanation, a background of this particular idiom. Okay.
Yeah.
Right. 掩耳盗铃. It's a metaphor for stupidity in cheating yourself and cheating others. So here it says 比喻愚蠢的自欺的掩饰行为 stupid, self-deceiving cover-up activity, act, if you like, cover-up act. Okay. Effectively means where he trying to steal a bell, but in order for people not to hear him stealing the bell, he covers his own ears up. Right? That's a story in one sentence. Okay. Who wants to have a go at reading the example then?
OK， 他的那种做法是掩耳盗铃的做法。
Very good. 他的那种做法是掩耳盗铃的做法。Now, you remember, if the following character is a third tone, then the first character, even if it's a third tone, gets changed to second tone. It becomes easier to read. I think Joy didn't have any difficulty reading it. It's just naturally, if you do it naturally, it falls into that pattern. So 掩耳盗铃, yeah, because sounds like second tone, but self is a third tone. 他的那种做法是掩耳盗铃的做法. The only thing I would suggest to you, Joy, is when you read things, 是 is, right, in English, right? So before that, it's a subject, and after that is an object. And it's good to single out 是 and give a bit of stop. A little gap kind of before and after, it becomes easier for you to read. It's clearer in a way for people to hear you. You mean 他的那种做法是掩耳盗铃的做法.
Okay.
That's just a suggestion, okay? How about you then? Okay.
掩耳盗铃就是自欺欺人.
Excellent, right. 自欺欺人 really is another idiom. And
it's the next one.
And it's, say it again, Joa?
Oh, it's the next one.
The next one. Oh, yeah, okay, very good, okay. It's a very good explanation for 掩耳盗铃. 掩耳盗铃 is more pictorial, kind of, give you a very specific kind of a story, while 自欺欺人 is more of the spirit of the idiom, the interpretation of it, if you like. The next one, of course, 自欺欺人, 既欺骗自己也欺骗别人. So 自欺 is talking about self-deceiving, 欺人 is deceiving others. So 自欺欺人 together, that you are trying to cheat everyone, including yourself. Deceive everyone, including yourself, right? Right, okay. So that's quite a simple in a way. 自欺欺人, yeah? So let's do the examples then. Do you want to do it again, Joa?
你的这种做法就是自欺欺人。
Yeah. Okay. How about me?
你别自欺欺人了，这样语是不行的。
Okay.
不行的。
干是不行的。Okay. This character 干 means do. 这样干是不行的。It's a very simple character, and of course, the simpler it is, the actually trickier it can be to recognize sometimes.
Yeah.
And no wonder where you probably read it as yu. So there is a yu, of course, like that, but has got a so-called 干沟yu. This name is called 干沟yu. 干沟yu. So this particular yu sounds the same as a surname, but doesn't have the ren on top, right? So if you compare with, I'm actually trying to get my name up so that I get my surname up automatically, but never mind. So this one, of course, we got a ren on top, right? So ren 下面一个鱼在两点。So very often, if somebody, because this yu, right, is a surname, somebody is called yu something, right? Because there are so many different, quite a few different yu, people would introduce themselves as I'm yu something, but it's a 干沟yu. So this 干 is used here. 干plus a 沟 becomes this yu. Do you see what I mean? That's a point.
Yeah.
干 without a hook below, but plus a hook becomes this particular yu. You see what I mean? So this 干 has got two different way of pronouncing. One is called 干第一声, right? The other one is 干. Sorry, the other one 干. Oh no. 干. Sorry, I'm just trying to put this. Okay. 干 is an adjective. So you tend to say 干. 干 is dried up. Okay, if a river is dried up, 这个河干了. Okay, there's nothing in no water in the river. That's 干旱. 干旱 is like sort of a dry season, no rain, no water. 这个干的第四声呢是干净. 干净.
Not like clean.
No, it's not clean. 干净 is the spirit to do, the can-do spirit. Okay, 干劲十足 describing somebody who is very keen to do things, to go ahead. Okay, another phrase is 干部.
Isn't that means clean?
No, clean has got a different different way of writing.
No, you say 干净. It's still the same 干.
Very good, very good. But that comes to this adjective. So 干净. 干净, okay. So that's a 干, same 干, but it's read as a first tone. Okay, 干净, 干旱. Okay, 干净 is clean, of course. You're right. Okay, but 干第四声的话 is to do. 干部 means cadres. Cadres in communist dictionary, that means people who are leaders who do things ahead of the mass, if you like. True or not, that's another matter. It's a theory. You see what I mean? So
what did you call them? Cadre.
Cadre, yeah, 干部. Cadre is a French word, I think. Not very common.
Oh.
Have you come across that before?
Yeah, I've seen it written.
Yeah, it's you might see it in a French sort of document. Cadre, communist sort of vocabulary. In English somehow we don't use it. We'll probably use leader more. Anyway, so in this case, this example says 这样干是不行的. Doing this way is not going to work. Okay, that's what it means. 这样干是不行的. 自欺欺人 it actually means 自欺欺人是不行的. You see what I mean? Okay.
Yes.
Can you think of any example of people who do things deceiving themselves and deceiving others too? Or trying to?
I think you do see leaders like that. I've thought about that. I think there's some leaders who are maybe very cunning and they know what they're saying, but they will deceive other people. But I think there's some people who, I'm thinking of, let's say, you've got some religious leaders, let's say, some cult leaders. And I think sometimes I think they know that they're lying, but I think sometimes they fool themselves.
Okay.
And they lie to themselves and they lie to other people. Can you use it like that?
By the way, this particular statement, 你别自欺欺人了，这样干是不行的. This has nothing to do with the leader. Because this is just an example. 这样干不行. But I mentioned K the leader is purely trying to explain this character. 干 means to do. Okay. So 干 to be the person who does things ahead of others. Kind of it's not directly linked. It's more of trying to explain the word character 干. So 自欺欺人, anybody can do that. Of course, leaders can do that. Anybody can do that. Thieves can do that. Students do that when they cheat in the exam. They're cheating themselves and they're cheating others in that sense. 自欺欺人. Yeah? These sort of people who are kind of, taking notes for the exams sort of against the rules in a closed book exam. They're 自欺欺人 in that sense. Yeah. Whether like people like Trump being a political leader, he does things, say things. Does he really believe in himself, or is he just trying to cheat others? I don't know. I mean, it's difficult to if you dig very deep, it's quite a complicated matter. But the story about 掩耳盗铃 make it look very obvious, very silly, very stupid, very clear. But of course, in real life, things are much more complicated. Sometimes it's not even very easy to discern whether somebody is cheating themselves and cheating others. Yeah, okay. Very interesting though. But it's a very common idiom to use, 自欺欺人 or 掩耳盗铃, still very commonly used. Right, let's move on to the next one. 蜂拥而至, 蜂拥而至. It's a very literal, sort of pictorial almost to the point, right, of this idiom. What the idiom is describing. 蜂拥而至. 蜂 is like bees, okay?
蜜蜂.
蜜蜂, that's right. 蜜蜂. 蜜蜂, of course, is a bees in English, but it can also be, 蜂 can also be any kind of wasp. This is the 蜂 is a category of these insects, I suppose you would call them, isn't it? So, but you can actually separate the different types by adding different characters into the front. 蜜蜂 is bees, wasps will become 黄蜂 or whatever, but here is referring to 蜂 in general. 虫字旁, so it's talking about little insects here. 蜂拥而至, we all know bees and the likes, they go in groups. Right, they tend to go in big groups. So when one arrives, the whole lot arrives, right? So 蜂拥 is like arrive like a group of insects, and arrive like a group of bees. So 蜂拥而至, 这个至 means to arrive. Okay, 拥 is like 蜂拥 is like crowded together. So bees and wasps like crowding together on arrival, that's what it means. Okay, 蜂拥而至, 像蜂群似的拥挤着来到. Right? I don't know whether this explanation is easy enough to understand for you.
Yeah, like a swarm of insects, kind of thing.
Swarm, a very good point, a very good word there. 群 is a crowd, a swarm. Like wasp, bee crowd, and on arrival. Let's have a look at an exam, right? Okay, Joy, do you want to have a go then, this one?
知道 HSK 的成绩在办公室，大家蜂拥而至。
Yeah, very good. So it's quite a neutral idiom. It doesn't have to be describing anything bad. While 自欺欺人, of course, is a negative connotation, right? It's talking about cheating, deceiving, and everything. But this one, 蜂拥而至, is just describing how people arrive in big crowd. We explained this HSK before, don't we?
Yes, the Chinese sort of level system.
What does it stand for?
Oh,
Is it like something 上课?
Very good try. 汉语 stands for 汉语水平考试。
水平考试. Oh, okay. Your standard is 汉语 standard examination.
汉语水平考试。Chinese language proficiency test, actually. That's how they would say it, right? Okay, anyway, next one. Right.
听说那家商店打折
yeah, discount.
人们蜂拥而至
Yeah.
而至 yeah.
听说那家商店打折 So people have
like when they hear there's a discount in the shop, they swarm like flies.
Yeah, that's right. Yes, so they arrive in big crowd, right? So, 打折 that's quite an interesting phrase too. 打折 you can say 打几折 打八折 打八折 means discount, so you basically pay 80% of the original price. 打八折 so sometimes they say 八八折 that can happen too. 八八折 that means you pay 88%, so they reduce to 88% of the original price. Which,
they really reduce it to 88%.
Yeah,
sometimes.
If originally it cost £1, you pay 88 pence. That's not really that big a discount.
Oh, okay. I was thinking the other way around, like 88% decrease, but not okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
At the moment, some properties are selling at 85折 in China, so that's considered to be quite a big discount. But of course, sometimes you pay 对折. That is equivalent to the 50% discount. 对折. Different way of talking about discount.
对折.
对折. Next one. 名胜古迹. 名胜古迹.
名胜古迹.
有古迹或优美风景的著名的地方. Chinese have always been known to, they always love kind of being a tourist for a long time, actually. So they tend to go to places where with 古迹, heritage sites, or 优美风景, or places with good scenery. 著名的地方 has to be pretty well known too. So 名胜古迹 is really referring to the combination of tour site with whatever. 古迹 I suppose is probably more important than plus scenery. So 名胜和古迹 I guess that's two bits stick together into one idiom. 名胜古迹. Try examples.
这里有很多名胜古迹.
Okay.
It's very simple.
Very simple. Very good. Okay. What do you need to do when you read is to emphasize certain key phrases like 有. It's a very important one because that's a verb in grammar sense, right? So you want to emphasize verb is important. 这里有很多名胜古迹. Or you can say 这里有很多名胜古迹. When it's in a sentence, Chinese says every character is single syllable. So a sentence tend to operate a little bit like English sentence for sure, but also be like English long words. English long words, I don't know whether I mentioned to you before. If you want to say a word properly, you emphasize, or you put an accent on the right place, right? And then becomes easier to understand. And that makes a difference sometimes to the meaning.
That's true, yeah.
And when you emphasize a character or a sound, what do? You make it longer and louder, of course. importantly, make it longer. 这里有 it's very long, clear. Yeah, you want to try again?
这里有
Yeah.
这里有很多名胜古迹。
Very good, excellent. Does that feel better when you read it?
Yeah.
You feel you make it clearer to people, don't you think?
I think sometimes I won't labor on this too long, but I think maybe in my head I think, oh, what would I emphasize in English would be that there's lots. I'd be like 很多名胜古迹. But maybe in Chinese you feel like you say with 是 or 有, you want to emphasize as kind of.
I mean, it doesn't have to be only one. I mean, you can 这里有很多名胜古迹. You can emphasize the important noun as well as 有, but because there's only one verb, there's one character, you don't want to miss it out, would you?
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
Okay. How about Marie?
我要去有名胜古迹的地方去旅游。
Yeah. Okay. Very good. 我要去有名胜古迹的地方去旅游. Of course, another trick to read out in an easier to understand way is to kind of it's kind of group character into phrases. 我要去. Okay, that's one bit together. 有名胜古迹的地方, that's another bit. And 去旅游. Very interesting, got a two 去 here. 我要去有名胜古迹的地方旅游. If you take out this 去, that works okay too. So you can say 我要去有名胜古迹的地方旅游. That's probably more, it's better. 我要去有名胜地方去旅游, that's actually not right. This textbook author is kind of made a little small mistake here. No big deal, but it's a little mistake probably. Okay, next one. 有目共睹. 有目共睹. 人人都看见, 极其明显. 人人都看得见. That's it, okay? 极其明显. Yes, 也可以说成有目共见. Now, I don't really say this very often. It's always 有目共睹. I don't know why he says that, actually.
Okay.
有目共见, that's like very awkward. Okay, so the meaning clear? 人人都看得见, 极其明显. Very obvious, actually. That means everybody can see. 有目共睹. Anyone who's got eyes can see together. That's what it means literally. Okay? 有目共睹. 睹 means see. It's not often used as a character on its own, but it's certainly used in this idiom. 有目共睹. 目睹.目睹 sometimes gets used as a phrase. Anyway, 有目共睹. Good one to remember. Okay, you want to try the example then?
中国的飞速发展是有目共睹的。
Very good. Okay.
那件事情大家有目共睹，我就不说了。
Very good. Yeah, there's nothing more to be said. I think it's 有目共睹. The meaning is neutral and relatively easy to understand. Next one, 理所当然. 理所当然. 意思是说从道理上说应当这样. So what that means is 理 is 道理. Okay, 道理. 理所当然. Now, you probably have heard a lot about, I don't know whether you have, I mean, 道. You probably heard of this Taoism, have you?
Yep, the way.
Yeah. So it's to do with...
Is it? No, is that also Tao?
Tao,
Is
that's right. Yeah, very good, very good. Sometimes it's to do with Tao, that's right, yeah. Sometimes it's right, the older style is called Tao, or Tao. They're talking about the same thing. Really, it just all means so-called the way. Now, what do we mean by the way? It's the way behind things, philosophy, or whether it's the law, the rule, hidden kind of the way is probably the best way to put it. So that's this 道. 道理, li, it's all to do with the law governing things, like the physical law or the law governing things behind what you see. Okay? So if a 道理 goes a certain way, then things will move along that way, naturally. But like physical law, I suppose, to understand that as such. Whether it's 道 or 理, roughly they're the same thing. So this is why, in this case, the idiom talks about 理所当然. It doesn't say 道所当然, but 道理 kind of refers to a similar thing. 道 probably is more of the ultimate kind of. I think it really refers not just to like the scientific law. It's trying to imagine something which is ultimate. So in a more transcendental sense, they say, okay? So when we talk about, the Bible talks about the way, it's the word, even like, that's what is really referring to the same thing here, 道理, okay? Of course, when we use this idiom, it's not, people don't necessarily delve into that level of contemplation. I can't get that word right now. It's more just thinking like it's naturally, you probably like things naturally so and so, okay? 从道理上来说是这样的. So the example, I don't know whether Joy will manage this one. Do you want to try?
I know 尊老爱, but I can't remember that one.
幼, 尊老爱幼, 幼 is young. So 尊老, respect the old, love the young.
尊老爱幼, 这是理所当然的事情.
Yeah, so this is a natural thing. Probably very easy to translate that in that way. It's not a question of taking for granted, but it's something that you don't have to explain a lot to people. It's something should happen naturally. Like that's implied by the world, how the ethics should be. Now, of course, we know it probably may or may not be the case, but in Chinese context, certainly there is that assumption. Let's say, okay, 尊老爱幼, 这是理所当然的事情. Any question on that?
没有.
Okay, we'll move on to the next one. How about this one?
哥哥帮助弟弟. What's that? Is that
Again, 理所当然.
理所当然.
这个理 again is a third tone. 道理.
Oh yeah.
道理 is 道 is 第四声. Oops. What's going on? 道理. But 所 is also 第三声, so that's why it becomes sounds like 第二声, 理所当然. Okay.
理所当然.
Yeah. Science, in a way, in Chinese, is translated by this character 理. So 物理 means physics, which of course means the science of the physical world. That's what 物理 physics is meant. Yeah.
Geography as well.
Yeah, that's 地理.
地理.
Yeah, the science of the earth in a way. Although geology, 地质, is a different science of geology. It's called 地质. Why you talk about 质? That's a different matter. But I'm going to get that. So quite a lot of 理 and a degree of science degree in Chinese. Science degree is a 理学, they call it 理学. 理学, 学士. 学士degree or 理学 so science can be translated as 理学 the science of let's say of things in the world anyway that's just going a bit far but this 理 is a character which is quite often used so you can see in lots of different probably phrases okay 理所当然 very good idiom to remember very common too next one 显而易见显而易见明显的容易看见的 so that's about like the previous one we look at it isn't it it's called 有目共睹 so, you know if you got eyes you can see very obvious in a way yeah delete some of the stuff here so come on okay anyway so it's quite a long example Jia. You want to try that
I think I can do most of it 它有显而易见的缺点但是也有难能可 this is the I think the one I don't know
难能可贵
可贵 oh, of course like expensive 贵
yeah that's right yeah
oh, of course
难能
可贵的优点
yeah very good 显而易见的缺点难能可贵的优点they're obviously contrasting pair in this way
yeah I know 缺点 is weakness so I assume 优点 is strength
that's right yeah
right okay
显而易见的缺点也有
yeah 但是也有
也有 yeah even though this is a third tone 也 but combined with the second tone behind it becomes 第二声也有但是也有难能可贵的优点
难能可贵的优点
very good okay 难能可贵 is another idiom which means precious okay we just need to remember that much okay so she's got obvious faults but also precious strengths okay all right Marie
这样做的好处是显而易见的
okay very good nothing much to be said about that I think 这样做的好处这样做的好处
all right okay 好处
good points good things the good reasons are the benefits the benefits of doing this way are easy to see that's what it's meant okay 好处 opposite is 坏处 like bad points bad things 好处 is good things are benefits 坏处 I suppose I don't know cost and negative consequences if you like number 8众所周知 again similar to 显而易见大家都知道 similar but not exactly the same 众所周知 really means 众 group crowd everyone means everyone knows as everyone knows it's a bit like I think the saying in English we tend to say like as we all know yeah coronavirus is causing trouble or whatever it's something you don't need to say but you're going to say it anyway for some reason right example this is a shorter one
这是众所周知的事情
yeah 众所周知的事情 this is something everybody knows how about Marie
众所周知我们公司还需要引进有用的人才
需要引进有用的人才引进 means to introduce or to recruit in this case okay is to get inside of useful people or talented people 我们公司还需要引进有用的人才引进introduce taking in buying sometimes. Basically, like if you try to say buying advanced technology, I mean, this is something probably the Chinese government are trying to do in the last 20, 30 years. Chinese government, they're trying to learn from other countries. And of course, America takes that as what you call it? Probably stealing their technology and all that. Very debatable. Different mindset in some ways. Sometimes it's purposeful, sometimes it's not. I'm not trying to defend the Chinese government, but it's very different. I don't know what I mentioned to you before. China has got a very different, traditionally anyway. Now probably is again slightly different, but in the past, Chinese don't hide things. They tend to review their trade secrets very openly to others, and they expect others to do the same to them probably. Anyway, that's another story. 不言而喻，不言而喻。OK， 这个喻是比喻的喻，不言而喻。Not saying yet implied. OK， 不用说就可以明白。不言而喻。It is easy to understand without it being said. You don't need to say it. And without it being said, we can understand things, okay? So it's a bit similar like 有目共睹, 众所周知, 显而易见, all these idioms are similar in meaning, isn't it? 不言而喻. Let's have like an example, if you can read it.
不言而喻，我们还要有进一步的发展。
不言而喻，我们还要进一步发展。So it's a kind of a, yeah, okay, that's one example anyway. Sorry, Marie.
这是不言而喻的情况。
不言而喻的情况 Okay, so I think this probably doesn't really give us a lot of explanation other than just using the phrases. I guess in English we say that sort of, it's kind of cliche phrases, isn't it? It's equivalent to a phrase like, it goes without being said. Do we use that sort of phrase sometimes?
Like it goes without saying.
Yeah, it goes without saying. Okay, that's what it is. 不言而喻. Right. Goes without saying. Yet we're going to say it for some reason, even though we don't need to say it, but we're going to say it. Okay. One of these interesting things. Next one, 莫名其妙。莫名其妙。没有人能明白它的奥妙道理coming up， 表示事情很奇怪，说莫名其妙 ，Oops， 使人不明白，也说莫名其妙。OK， sorry， 莫名其妙，没有人能明白它的奥妙 ，stroke， 没有人明白它的道理，表示事情很奇怪，使人不明白。也可以说成莫名其妙。So that's two same, okay? Not able to name the reason behind. That's what 莫名其妙 is, okay? Kind of very strange. That's what it means. 例如 example.
他为什么那么做？大家都莫名其妙。
Very good. Why he does it that way? Why does he do that? Everyone feels it's very strange. Okay.
他莫名其妙的哭了。
莫名其妙的哭了。So she started crying, kind of very strange way. Why? Strangely, she started crying. We don't know why. Okay, that's what it is. 莫名其妙。Sometimes it's a phrase people use to kind of tell off some other people in an argument. Okay, so it's quite a negative, quite a negative idiom. If somebody accuses you in the wrong way, you might say 莫名其妙, like ridiculous. That's ridiculous. That's, I don't understand why you're saying this. 莫名其妙. Okay. Next one. 可想而知. 可想而知. 想了以后就可以知道. So if you think about it, you will understand. That's what it means. Okay, 想了以后就可以知道，可想而知。例如 ，OK， 啊。
可想而知，他是一个很 刻苦努力的人。
Very good, very good. 可想而知。Again, this turns into a second tone, right? 可想而知 easier to say. 他是一个很刻苦的人 ，Yeah. He's a very
刻苦努力的人。
very hardworking person. Okay.
大家可想而知，我已经没有很多的钱了。
Very good. So if I am unemployed and I've just I've got a lot of money stolen or whatever, people can understand easily. I will not have much money left. 大家可想而知，我已经没有很多钱了。The structure-wise slightly unusual, 可想而知, but it's an idiom. You just can remember that.